Welcome back and thanks for stopping by. Sometimes you just need breakfast, and this one combines all the goodies of breakfast. This is Breakfast Dogs. Dogs Reimagined. It's really good. It's got everything you want in a breakfast. Maybe almost everything. Let's get our stuff together and make it right now. All right, there's a lot of work we got to get done, so first off, let's get our stuff out. We need some hot dog buns. You need the kind that are split up the top. If you don't, well, you can manage, I'm sure. Some cream, and I've got a bowl just because we need some meat, some bacon, some sausages, all your choice, whatever you like. A couple potatoes, because we're going to make hash browns. Some eggs, of course. Salt and pepper for seasoning. We need some butter and some cheese. Looks pretty good to me. First up, our bacon. I've got about 9 slices. I cut them in half, of course, because it's easier to deal with. We're going to put them in the oven, 375, about 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how crispy you like them. While we're waiting for that, we got our potatoes, and we're going to slice them into hash browns, nice small pieces. Why? Because they got to fit in the bun, so you don't want them ginormous. And they look like that. It's not much. That's one potato too. The cool thing about potatoes, or just about any ingredient, is you don't really need a whole lot. A lot less than you would normally think. Let's get them over to the stove. I got a small pan. Boil up the water, little touch of salt, and we're going to let them cook about 20 minutes. Frying pan or sausages, we're going to cook them till they're nice and golden brown. Ish. We want them well cooked. And that looks about right. So let's get them out of the pan because we still have more things to do. Here's our bacon at the halfway point. You can see it's not quite cooked the way I want it. So just to make sure both sides cook evenly, we're going to flip them over. Back in the oven. That probably needs about 10 minutes. Here's our hash browns out of the pot. They're cooked because I checked them with a fork, and now we're going to fry them up in our frying pan. That's just a little bit of oil in the bottom. You could use butter if you wanted to. I'm not so sure how well butter would work with the potatoes. I'm sure they work fine. In goes our potatoes. Even them up. Let them brown up. Here's our bacon. Oh yeah, that looks good. And if you want a little more crispier, just put it in the oven another 5 minutes, but keep your eye on it because you don't want it getting from really cooked to burnt. Well, unless you like it that way. There are people that do. So here's our bacon and sausages. Yummy. Hash browns are starting to brown up. And once we get it sort of brown, because I'm in a hurry, I'm getting hungry, we'll just grab our bowl and put them back in. There you go. Now, a bowl and onto our scrambled eggs. 2 eggs. That's all we need. A little bit of cheese. A little handful of cheese. That's probably 1/4 cup-ish. Mix that together. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. Then we'll just mix all that up into one big thick mixture. Into our pan, a nice chunk of butter. Oh, I love melting it down like that. Looks good to me. And in goes our egg and cheese mixture. Now we're making scrambled eggs, so it doesn't really matter if I break it up or not. But I guess if you wanted to, you could just cook it like that, flip it over, you know, and then cut out the slices. I guess that could work too, but no. We cooked it down to our nice scrambled eggs. Oh yeah. They're looking good, and they're gooey because, of course, of the cheese. That's okay. So in an effort to not use every pan in my house, I grabbed the pan we did the potatoes in and grabbed all our eggs. Now, if I had a third hand and wasn't worried about the camera, I probably would have just picked up the frying pan. The last step we've got to do before we start putting this together is a couple eggs into a bowl. Mix those around. I love breaking the yolks. And to that, once we're done mixing them, doesn't have to be perfect. That's a half a cup of cream. And I'll show you what we're going to do once we mix all that together, get it nice and combined. Got a frying pan on the stove, medium heat, ready to go. So we're going to take our buns and just kind of coat them on each side. You don't want them super coated. Into our pan with some butter, just like that. So we'll get 3 buns in there. I'm making 6, so I'm going to have to do this in 2 lifts. So there we go. We just want to make sure that each side is cooked. Kind of like a French toast dish. And they're getting kind of hot. I didn't want to squish them up. Ow, ow, ow. So I finally went to my tongs because it was just too hot for me. I don't have asbestos fingers. And once they're cooked, let's get them out of the pan and let's get to work putting our breakfast dogs together. I can't wait. So here's all 6 buns. Now 2 of which I'm not going to put bacon in because my daughter requested it. But the rest we're going to put 2 or 3 slices of bacon on the bottom. Open up the top so we can get at everything else. Just like that. Next up comes our hash browns. Followed by sausages. And then I realized, hey, it might have been a little easier to put the egg on the bottom before the sausage. So that's what I did. So it goes bacon, hash brown, then the sausage. As you can see, we fixed the problem. Now, the 2 on the right, they're mine. I just chopped one of the sausages in half. And I think that works a little better because they tend to stay on the bun just a little bit better. Onto a plate. See how they're full? That's why I think a half sausage might be a little better. But they look good and they taste great. So once I'm done kind of setting her up for a nice photo op, we're ready to dig into these things. There you go. Breakfast dogs. I think this is a great idea. Hey, another great recipe. I hope you'll give it a try. Leave me a comment below, one way or the other. Listen, if you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell because that'll tell you the next time I upload a video. Feel free to share this in any of my other videos. And thanks for stopping by and watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.